Guys, don't let this volatility scare you. This is time for accumulation, not capitulation. We're going to discuss that and show you all the charts, show everything that's been going on the last couple of days. It's been a super volatile market, both in crypto and in traditional markets as well. I'd like to welcome Juan G, my co-host for every week. How you doing today, sir?
Another exciting day in the land of crypto, making money up and down.
Yeah, both directions, literally simultaneously. So we'll show the charts. Let's get right into it. We'll show the Bitcoin chart here. Currently, Bitcoin is sitting at 86,900. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 937. It actually jumped up about $300 just before we started the stream. That's great to see. As you can see on the chart, it's been really, really volatile. Let me get my marker here. On Friday, we actually closed the traditional markets at around 85.5. So as you can see here, we did have another CME gap. Bitcoin had a $10,000 God candle, as they call it. We started out on the Sunday. We were at 85,029 and we shot all the way up to 95,152. So over $10,000 in one day. I'm not sure about you, Juan, but I was watching the charts actually, and I got all kinds of notifications as to price action. So I opened up the chart and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. There was about 3 or 4 hours straight there where we were getting $2, $3, $4,000 candles. It was really impressive. But due to that, we did open today, or the traditional markets open today, sorry, where Bitcoin was up in around the 94 area. And because of that, we did have a gap down at 85.5. Now we had a CME gap that closed. We talked about this last week, down in the 79,000, 79,008, 79,007. And that did fill as well with this wick. And then when we got this candle here, I thought, it might be a little bit of an issue. I didn't think we would actually come down this quick and close out that gap, but apparently the markets had other ideas, and we did close that gap immediately today. So currently, like I said, we are at 86,663. We'll come back to the Bitcoin chart in a minute. A few others I want to show before we get back into that. So here's Bitcoin dominance. It was looking pretty good yesterday. Dominance was coming down. Altcoins were doing amazing. Some of them were up 10, 15, 20, and some of them were even more on the day, which we will talk about some of them in a minute here. And then, of course, today with the capitulation or the dump, Bitcoin dominance has begun to rise, and we're back up to 61.5%. We did get as low as, what did we get here? 60%? Yeah, just over 60%. Yesterday, and we Bitcoin dominance kind of found support on the 200 here, which we don't want to see that, but it is what it is. I mean, we're kind of right back where we were last week, although the overall macro and sentiment in the market is a little bit better with the announcement of the crypto reserve. So that's Bitcoin dominance. Here is USDT dominance. It also took a dive, major nosedive. And it kind of found support in this area here that it had been riding for several days, several weeks actually. And then, I thought, okay, great. USDT dominance is coming down. The money is flowing back into the market. And then, of course, today, just as Bitcoin price goes up, down, and the altcoins take a dive, people put their money back into cash, and up goes the USDT dominance. But it is what it is. I mean, it just kind of, ebbs and flows. One thing does one thing and another will follow it. So let's have to wait and see what happens in the coming days. We have a big day coming on Friday, which we'll touch more on our stream on Thursday. But Friday is supposed to be a pretty big day. There's an announcement coming from the administration. So that's USDT dominance. And while we're at it, I also wanted to bring up gold. I'm not sure if you wanted to mention a little bit about gold here, Juan, before we move on, but gold has seen a nice bounce back. It was coming down for several days here. It did get support off of the EMA, the 200 DEMA, and then it's had a nice little pump today. What are you seeing in gold that's causing this little bit of a pump in the market?
So as we discussed before, right? I think that when it comes to gold, we talked about how once they did their job, is I guess in supporting the crypto market, right? That they will continue to go back on their incline to 3,000. I think that's where their goal wants to be, and that's exactly what happened today. Whoever was trading on Sunday literally saw the candle teleport from, I think, 2050, I mean 2850 all the way to 2870. So like 2880, almost like a $30 like teleport. So it's a great huge move, and it kind of traded sideways and built that momentum towards the upside. It was a great day in gold. I think in general, being a store of value and seeing the uneasiness with the crypto market, everybody just said, you know what, let me just put this here until things get sorted. And that's exactly what happened. People just put their store of value from Bitcoin into gold right now until things get sorted. Again, I think there was some expectations in the crypto space right now that weren't met in the crypto space, and whether it be from the administration or any other thing, that's what we're currently at. Do I foresee another mini pump? I mean, maybe another mini dump when Bitcoin is ready. I'm not sure. It really just depends on where Bitcoin is in the next few days, right? If it's going to be back into that 93, 94 zone, maybe not, right? Because there's plenty of supply there and support. But if there's if you see it kind of go back down the other way, yeah, I can see kind of gold being prepped for that level of support again. So just keep an eye on the TNA.
Perfect. We just did switch over to the next daily candle, and gold is starting out green. Okay, so let's head back to Bitcoin before we check out the other charts. There's off the top, I said that now is the time to accumulate, and that news came out yesterday about the administration going to be starting up a strategic crypto reserve. He mentioned a few by name. There was ADA, Cardano, XRP, Solana, and they were the main ones that were brought up. And afterwards, he kind of clarified that he also meant Bitcoin and Ethereum, because most people would figure that they were an automatic. So he did mention those as well. So that immediately pumped the market. The market went crazy. It was a weekend, not very much volume. So raising the price or moving the price is a little bit easier on the weekends. But yeah, we had that $10,000 God candle. And then today we had almost an equal dump. There's a lot of speculation as maybe what the cause of that was. Juan, I know you have a theory, and I tend to agree as to what the cause was. So what do you think was the reason why today we dumped just as hard as we pumped yesterday?
Like we discussed earlier, right? Expectations play a huge role. You saw the weekend, that news of the crypto being supported by the administration. Great, everybody bought in. Saw that huge pump, and then when they were waiting for that details on Monday, they got nothing. So people were skittish, took their money out. Let's put it in gold for now, see what happens. And here we are, right? You also got to look at the manipulation of the bigger companies, right? These exchanges live and die off these news events, and they know how to take advantage of it, and they did. So the minute they hear anything, it could be as silly as, hey, so and so stole $2. Oh, time to dump, right?
Yeah.
So this is just a reflection of that. Is it an overstatement? No. The good news is it's a higher low, right? You look at where we were at 78, and we didn't touch that. That would be more worrisome. This is just a reflection of what we talked about on Friday. For those who were listening on the stream, that there was going to be a challenge up to the support line, or the resistance line in this case, and it's going to test it, and it might come back down.
Yep.
And here we are.
Yep. Came right back into the buy zone here. And typically you think that would be a good support area, but it was rejected down. Now, to your point about making higher lows, that's exactly right. We had this wick where it came down to 78,000 and change. And then we had this green candle the following day. Get rid of that. The following day, which gave us a low of 83,000. On Friday yesterday, before we had that major pump, it did get down to 85,029. And today's candle, it didn't get any lower than 85,069. So believe it or not, we are continuing to make higher lows, which is great to see. So for all you out there that when you do your charting, you make sure that the structure is maintained. And so far, so good. Structure has been maintained. As long as we can stay above, I mean, we can go below it, but it'd be really nice to see us stay above this $85,029 mark. If we can, slowly continue to go back up from here, that would be great to see. But it's, this is uncanny. Like you look at these two candles and they're almost identical. Let me zoom in here. They're almost identical to one another from not just the body of the candle, but even the wicks. Like this is
Yeah.
unbelievable. That's, manipulation at its finest. Well, in this case, it wasn't. It was just like you said, there was expectations on an announcement today that was that people thought maybe there was going to be some specifics that were given out about the reserve, but that didn't happen. Instead, other topics were talked about, and I think because of that, you have a lot of your paper hands. They decided to sell the news. In this case, to almost to the penny, which
You know,
which is nuts.
agreed. And just to add a little conspiracy, right? Because everybody think it's just maybe the administration didn't release the news they expected. But I also think that there's just news that we, the common people, are not privy to. They were
Yeah,
probably, secondhand, heard something over the weekend. Everybody pumped it, right? Everybody was happy, ready to go. And then I guess everybody said, no, I was wrong. I misheard it. And they sold. Because this is
yeah,
why you got the exact same candle, right? This is normally you will see some variation. Here, no, it just went, you know what? Everything we put in is just take back out. So I think that there's some credence to that conspiracy.
yeah. I agree. And okay, the last thing before we move on, show some other charts here. I want people to understand that there's so much bullishness in the market. Yeah, the macro is a little bit down, with right now inflation and stuff that's going on everywhere. It's not just in one place or another. But you have to remember that there's a lot of bullish news coming. The market, there's a lot of investment, a lot of money that's going to be coming into the market. So you got to think long term. So you got to pick, those projects, those tokens that you think have great fundamentals and that are going to be bullish long term, and they're going to do well as the bull market continues. Which Juan and I, we are going to be picking our top 5 for the remainder of this market. But we'll do that in just a minute. I did want to go over the rest of the chart so that we can see exactly the rest of the picture of what happened over the weekend. So we'll start here on the liquidations. As you can see, we agree that this wasn't exactly a liquidation event that happened yesterday and today. It was more of a, retail and then today panic selling, which you never want to see. You never want to see anyone lose money, and anyone who panic sold today, especially at a loss, it makes no sense to me. I don't understand why investors will do that. But a lot of times crypto, well, in all markets, but especially in crypto, a lot of investors are emotional traders, and when you start trading on emotion, that's when you start getting into trouble. So as you can see here on the chart, it looks pretty good. We are still short heavy. Eventually, the market will correct. It will begin to go back up, and when that happens, what we witnessed in the last week, where this area here, we're up in the $5, $6, $7 billion range, and they were all completely wiped out. The longs, or sorry, the long positions, and now the opposite has taken effect. There are a lot of short positions in the market, so I think the same thing is going to happen on that side. Eventually, just got to have patience. Pick the projects that you have conviction in and that you believe are going to do well, and then just hold them, and follow the market. Follow people that are in the know, and just kind of keep your ear to the ground, and make sure you hold on until it's the right time to take profits. But we will try to relay that as the market continues to go on, and share that with our audience. So that is the liquidation map. As you can see, like I said, everything right now is top heavy. And the last other thing I wanted to mention, they changed it on me, so I'll have to find it here. Give me 1 second here. Open interest. Nope, market. I want to show the ETFs. Last week, or on the stream Thursday, we showed that there were several days of outflows, and I wasn't sure about Friday because it hadn't quite registered yet. But here we are. We did actually have an inflow of 94 million. Not sure what's going to happen today after the crazy volatility, but we'll be sure to show this on Thursday as well. But hopefully this does trend the other way. There have been a lot of outflows, and we'd like to see this. We'd like to put a stop to the bleeding, so to speak. So that's the ETFs. And then I also wanted to show the CPVI. I'll give this a refresh. I think we are still at a 68. Yep, we are. So according to this, all the top, the most popular top cycle indicators, our cycle top indicators, we're nowhere near a cycle top. As a matter of fact, we've scaled down. We were up near in the 80s earlier, and now we're down in the 60s. So looking all good there. So that is the charts. I will go back to Bitcoin here, and maybe we can have a quick. I don't know, maybe not a prediction. We don't like to predict on this show because no one can predict what's going to happen with Bitcoin. But one thing we can do is kind of give our views and our ideas, and then we'll hop right over to our top 5. So Juan, I guess we only have 4 days till the stream on Thursday. But what do you see happening with the market this week? I know Friday there's a big announcement coming. So that may be a catalyst for buy the rumor, sell the news, but we'll have to wait and see. So what do you see for the rest of the week?
Higher lows, right? I think that we're going to continue to re-challenge that the supply level there, and I think that over the next few days, you're probably going to see, I don't see too much manipulation, but more at what I call anticipation, right?
Mhm.
It could trade sideways and then decision time, and then that's going to kind of really just say, are we going to challenge and stay up, or maybe we need more accumulation? And only that news is really going to decide that. Or someone says a magic word the next few days, and then you'll see a pump. So this is one of those days, weeks where you want to pay attention to the news and have your finger on the buy or sell button.
Yeah, I agree. It would be a little bit, more relaxing or easing of the mind if we knew what the announcement was going to be on Friday. But all we know is that the announcement it's a big crypto announcement, and we have no idea what it's going to be. You can speculate all you want, but until Friday comes, we're not really sure what that's going to be. So I'm in agreement. Chop, what do they call that? Chopsation, or I've heard a term before, but yeah, basically we're gonna probably higher lows, but I don't think we're gonna get too much in regards to price action until maybe later in the week. And if we do get that buy the rumor, hopefully we don't sell the news. Whatever, depending what the news is, maybe it'll pump the market even more. But I would like to see Bitcoin get back into this buy zone, this accumulation green area here. We got into it, but then of course rejected and back down. But I'd like to see us get back up here, back into this chopping sideways zone. It's better than massive dump. We're still here. I'm still hearing rumblings that Bitcoin's price could still go all the way down to like 72, 73. I'm not going to say I don't see that happening, but I'd be really surprised if it did. So we'll have to keep our eye on that. We'll obviously have an update on that come Thursday. So that is the charts. That's the data for the day. Now we promised we were going to go over our top 5 picks for the remainder of the market, or at least in the short-term future. And Juan, I guess I'll let you go first, and then I'll go over my 5. So what 5 are you picking, and give a brief reason as to why for each.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's just start with the heavy hitter of the weekend, and we'll look at Cardano, who currently popped off at 60% growth, and even with everything that just happened, it's still up 24%. So it's just showing people are resilient. They're here to stay. The price action may not reflect it right now at 85 cents, but if you kind of look over what happened the last few months, it was down in the 30s. So good job, Cardano there. I would also continue to add XRP. And let's just be honest, XRP has nothing but momentum behind its back, right? Got news about this SEC kind of dropping the news that they're not going to be continue to pursue them. So they have no reason to go backwards. Then you look at, of course, our darling, and I say this as a channel, we love Solana. Currently, I think only down not even 1%. And continue to climb back up. It was one of those ones that we're going to continue to follow, I think, till the end of time. Because I think this is going to kind of lead us into the next bull market, the following bull market. Then you look at Doge, right? And it was like, why are we going to pick Doge? Currently down 6%. It's in the right hands and with the right company. And without saying too much, I think you can't go wrong. If you see it at a price you want to buy, this is one I would just buy and just hold and see how far it goes. And last but not least, you're going to look at HBAR. HBAR is not a popular one, and I like to choose ones that maybe not mainstream. And HBAR right now looking at 11% growth. Things second behind or third behind the Cardano. So I would definitely respect the effort that HBAR is doing right now and its people. They have great momentum, and anything that kind of resists downward pressure and comes back has my vote right now.
And it's had a good bull run itself, so
Yeah.
I'm sure that will maintain as well. All right, thanks for those. I will agree with you with a couple of them. So my number one pick, obviously, darling of the channel, Solana. It still leads in overall layer one volume the last 18 months, which is just incredible. Even recently with the whole pump fund fiasco and the meme coins just losing value like crazy, Solana continues to lead. Because like I've maintained before, that meme coins is not the only, the main source of volume on Solana. There's many others. They're into DeFi. They've got their AI agents like Tars AI, etc. So that and the fact that they're going to be launching a futures, Solana futures on CME, which is amazing to hear. An ETF is very likely. There's, it's already been listed on the one page. So an ETF is likely probably this year. And of course, the transaction speeds are super fast. The gas fees are super low. So it's an amazing chain to build on and operate overall. And of course, it was included in the strategic reserve. So number two, actually, I have SUI. I've been following SUI. I got an allocation, got a bag of it back when it was down in the 40-50 cent range. And I've been accumulating since. And of course, it went all the way up to $5. It has retraced quite a bit. It's now under $2. I think it's 270. What is it at now? SUI 263 actually currently. But I believe it's just retraced like everything else. It's had such a run that it was bound to have a major correction, which it has. I think it's pretty much reset. Fast transaction speeds as well on SUI, which is great. And when it comes to layer ones, it's fairly the new kid on the block. I know that Solana hasn't been around all that long, but I mean, now it's in its second bull market, and it's kind of an OG now when it comes to crypto. So SUI is kind of the new kid on the block. They do have a handheld gaming device coming pretty soon, so they've got their hands in the gaming sector, and of course DeFi. They're big in DeFi as well. They've got a lot of DeFi platforms out there. My number three pick is going to be Ondo. I like Ondo because you've heard BlackRock talk about wanting to tokenize everything, tokenization, real world utility when it comes to crypto. And Ondo is leading that charge. I mean, even Larry Fink has named Ondo specifically as one that he wants to use for tokenization, which I believe is it narratives as we go forward in the bull market. Whales and institutions are accumulating it, and they keep on building partnerships and adding partnerships there. So I think that's going to be a big one to watch, especially in the RWA narrative going forward. XRP, I will agree with you. I have XRP there. It's been around for a long time. They have a huge community, very, very loyal community. And a lot of these people, they've been through the ups and downs. They've been through the SEC case. They've didn't really do much last bull market, and a lot of them have held strong. So community is a big part of any crypto project, and XRP definitely has that. Cross-border payments, everyone's pretty much familiar with XRP now. They are also the ISO 20022 compliant, which so is HBAR, which you had mentioned. I know a lot of people say, well, yeah, that's the centralized part of it. Well, like it or not, decentralized parts of crypto and centralized banks are eventually going to have to commingle and to make a much better product. So XRP is ahead of the game on there. I know a lot of people are saying that it's old tech, which I mean, in a way it is, but there's nothing that says they can't come out with an update. And but their popularity and their use case is huge. So I believe it's going to do well going forward. And as well, it's also named as part of the crypto reserve. And finally, I have Injective, which is something a little different. Not a lot of people are aware of exactly what Injective is. They've heard of it, but they're not really sure. Now, they've kind of transitioned. They did a little bit of DeFi and stuff, and they were projects were building on it, smart contracts, etc. But they've actually kind of positioned themselves into the AI space and gaming. They've been making a lot of partnerships like Chainlink and the like. And so I think their focus is going to go into the AI sector. They did change their website, updated it, and you can see their new direction. They are also in DeFi. They're they've got the what is that? Sushi Swap, or not Sushi? Sorry, they have a platform, like a main DeFi platform that is really good. They have what is that? The gems that they you can mine. But anyway, they're in DeFi pretty heavily, and they've got a few sites that are doing well when it comes to DeFi. And of course, there's institutional interest as well. Injective is one of those, I think, that's going to surprise a lot of people, and it's going to do well going forward in this bull market. So that's my 5 picks, and I believe you and I align on a few of them. I think as long as you have conviction in these plays, you DCA into them, and I think they'll do well for the remainder of this bull market. However that lasts, it could last into the summer or into the fall. That remains to be seen. Could last even longer, depending on what the administration does. So that's it for me. Any last words, Juan, before we sign off today's video? Oh, you're on mute.
I was surprised. Thank you. I was surprised about Injective, but you're 100% correct there. I think they just closed a deal with Deutsche Telekom, which is in America one of the providers for T-Mobile service, right, to help with the blockchain. So that's exciting right there to see. That's a good pick out for you. Additionally, I don't know if you heard, but I think a few months ago we discussed about when will XRP pass Ethereum. And this weekend, it kind of did.
Briefly,
In fully diluted shares.
Yep.
So that's exciting to see stuff there. So, on both sides, we have some exciting news that kind of really put our picks in really prime time positions. And lastly, trading it comes down to winners and losers. And while we all want everyone who listens to us, or who trade and wants to have a better life for themselves to be winners, it's impossible, because everybody won, nobody would make money, right?
Right.
This is why we always preach being prepared and being agile and being ready. And that's the best you could do, so you don't end up losing as much when you lose, but winning the most you can when you win. And that's the best you can hope for. And that's all I want to say for the channel.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's great advice. That's a great perspective as well. One other thing I want to mention about Ethereum before we go, I know we keep saying that we're hoping that Ethereum will, get off its schneid and go on a run. Another piece of information that I read earlier today was that Ethereum dominance has gone down to about 8%, or just below 8%. And there was, at one time, Ethereum was around 20% dominant. So that dominance just keeps on dropping, and it's not boding good for Ethereum, but we're hoping that something happens. I know that they are working on an update, better scaling on the layer 1, but the rumor is it won't be ready to go until 2029, maybe possibly even 2030. I think that might be a little too late, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully the interest in Ethereum returns. If the gas fees can remain low as they are now, maybe the DeFi will pick up again, and then that chain will go off and running, and the price will reflect that, and then the rest of the alts will follow. But we'll have to wait and see. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We really appreciate you coming by. If you like the video, please give it a like. If you really like the video, subscribe to the channel. The channel has been growing. We are really appreciative of everyone. Don't forget, nothing on this video should be considered financial advice. We are not financial advisors. This is strictly for entertainment and educational purposes only. Just 2 guys on the internet sharing our thoughts and showing you the charts. You make your own decisions based on that. Again, Juan, thanks for joining me, and everyone else, we'll see you on Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 7:05 Eastern, for our weekly live stream. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Have a good night. See you Thursday.